Hello and welcome back to In Need of Adaption, the series where I look at books that I think have great potential to be developed into film or TV series. Today I want to look at the works of Janice Hallett. Janice Hallett currently has 5 novels, 1 novella and 2 children's books published. Later this year she has a 6th novel on the way. What makes her books unique is that they are all told through mixed media, meaning instead of the usual first or third person narratives, all of these books are told as though they are the collation of various documents, from police interview transcripts to text messages and emails. I like to think of these books as just being a continuous stream of dialogue between characters. And her books always have me hooked, from my introduction to her work with The Mysterious Case of the Alberton Angels to the recent The Killer Question novel. I am always incredibly invested in where these stories go. It is clear at this point in her career that Janice Hallett is an absolute master of non-linear, mixed media storytelling. And unlike a lot of book-to-screen adaptations, I think adapting any of Hallett's work presents an interesting challenge. How on earth do you adapt something that is overall designed to be read? In order to adapt these books well, you really just have to maintain the heart of what makes the books work. A group of eclectic characters who are part of a mystery that unfolds in a non-linear way. In my mind, there are 2 possible ways you can adapt these books to screen. The first option is to take the narratives and turn them into simple dramas that can act as an adaptation so far as they would tell the same plot, but in a more traditional way for screen. To me, this is the most boring option. I think these books should be challenging for creatives on how to maintain the strengths of the storytelling from page to screen. The second option is that you adapt them as documentaries. This is a common way Hallett creates a reason for having all the various documents collated in her books. Usually, there is a character who wants to take this story being told and adapt it to screen. And I think this idea should be leaned into. It would mean you can tell the full story from the books, but instead of interview transcripts, you instead have interview recreations in documentary format, for example. The documentary format would also allow the characters to be brought to life in an interesting way, as each of them could have various documentary-style interviews to help further the plot, as opposed to just reading text messages between characters, because let's face it, that probably wouldn't work very well on screen. If done right, I really do think the works of Janice Hallett would be a brilliant adaptations that would allow creators to explore the documentary format in a unique way. And that is why the works of Janice Hallett are in need of adaptation. Thank you so much for watching the newest edition of In Need of Adaption. Be sure to check out the first video in this series on why Skullduggery Pleasant should be adapted to screen. And if you enjoyed this, remember to like and subscribe. I've been Nathaniel, and I'll see you in the Vortex.